Hi friends, today I'm playing with something kind of fun here. Let me just turn on my light. And I mentioned the other day, I don't know, several weeks back, I purchased these stencils I wanted to use. They're little snowflakes. And when I got them, they're huge, which, let's figure out a way to use them. So I'm going to play with them today. And what I'm going to do is use my watercolors to stencil, which can be a little bit tricky because if you use too much water, it leaks through and you don't get a nice clean stencil stamp. So I'm going to show you how I used them. And because they're so big, what I'm going to do is, I think this is going to be really cool actually. I'm going to put them, so just part of them is showing on my paper. By the way, I'm using my Meeden 100% cotton cold press 140 pound because I kind of enjoy using the block. If you have those Artisto pads, absolutely use those, but I'm going to be using this for today. All right, so let's get started. I'm also using my Lang paints by Paul Rubens. These are the student grade. I use these every day. Just doesn't make sense for me personally for the amount of painting I do every day to use Winsor Newton or something like that. And I love Paul Rubens. Their professional sets are also fantastic and have that light fastness quality. If that's something you need because you're selling your artwork or something like that. But these are just fantastic. They have all the colors I love. Today I'm going to be using kind of a variety. I might even be sneaking in some of those MAB Gold series and Mirror series. I've got sparkles here. I've got all kinds of fun stuff. I really, for me during the holidays, I just wanted to be kind of laid back and not worry so much about, perfection and all of that. So I'm going to play a little. What I did is I've got my stencil here and I've actually got it kind of cut off here, meaning I've just got part of the stencil showing here. I'm going to use, just because I have it sitting here, my 8 Princeton. This is the Neptune, which is quite soft actually. So I think I actually will grab my 8 brush, but if you have the 8 round velvet touch, that's perfect. I love that brush for Princeton. If you have my brushes, these are now sold out, but this is the 8 round. So you can use that one and that would be actually perfect. And I'm going to wet my brush to start with. I did spray my paints just a bit. I'm going to spray them just a tiny bit more, not too much, because I don't want too much water in here. Because again, with the stencils and watercolors, if I have too much water, it's going to seep through a lot. And I don't really want it to do that. I think gouache would work really well with this also. But what I'm going to do is, let me set my paints here so you can see them. Is I'm just going to use them rather thick. So probably 90% pigment, 10% water. And I won't keep going back into my water to add more water to my brush because that's going to be too watered down. I want to keep this almost like a cream or even a sour cream type of consistency. That way I don't get it seeping through underneath. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to use, let's start with, I'm just going to play with a lot of these reds. So loading my brush on its side, I don't want to go in there with the tip. And I'm going to start laying down this paint. So I don't know if you can see that, but it's quite thick. And if I need to add just a tiny bit of water, I will do that. But I really don't want to do too much of that because again, it will leak through underneath and then you just get kind of a big, giant, blurry image. And don't worry about getting this on your stencil because it's watercolor, so it will very easily wash out. And then what I want to do here is I'm going to use a variety of colors. I'm kind of doing this as I'm going here. So I'm going to rinse my brush, and then I'm going to go into maybe, let's go into an orange, a cad orange. Keeping it pretty thick, loading the side of my brush so I protect that beautiful point. And I'm going to go in and just paint this one now. So pretty dark value. I can maybe mix some of that over there with some orange, just to show a bit of that transition. And then I think in this one here, I will go into, let's go into our cad yellow. I need to refill that cad yellow. And this is gonna be so pretty, you guys. Now I might have had a little too much water on that, but we'll see when we, when I lift this off, and if it's smeary underneath, then you know I added too much water. It's kind of a little bit of a guessing game there. Just gonna mix all these. I already see under that one it got too much water. So I'm going to just take the edge here and lift it off quickly. But you know what? I'm okay with that. That's perfectly fine. So look how pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? I love that look. I'm going to go ahead and rinse my brush. I'm just going to let that dry a little bit, and then I have this really tiny little mister that I like if I want to spray and just get a really fine mist. I'll look up where I'm sure I got it on Amazon. It's called the mini mister. And I mean, any mister you have that is a mister and not a strong spray is going to work. What I'm going to do is watch this, but look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I think we need some MABs in there too. That would be really pretty. So what I'm going to do with this is just barely spray on here. Look. Oh my gosh. Look how gorgeous that is. How about if we do a blue one over here? I mean, that is so pretty. I love it. I'm going to use a little bit different stencil. So let's maybe try this one. And I'll try and hold it down as well as I can. And then I'm going to use some turquoises and those icy blues, that turkey blue. So loading my brush again on its side. Now I might have to hold this down a bit because it's lifting up just a tiny bit. Ooh, look at that. Oh, so I just noticed I did get that kind of under the stencil. Just kind of be careful, try and glide over the top and work as thickly as you can with your paint, just so that it isn't seeping through. But it's really, you know, this is kind of an abstract type thing, so I'm not too worried if I get a little underneath. It's not a big deal. And then I think I'll use, I rinsed my brush. I'm going to use, let's go with that light blue, the light sky blue, again in the My Lane palette. Ooh, look how pretty. And as you keep doing this, you'll get used to, you know, how much water you can really put on there. I'm trying my best not to move my stencil around too much either, because that would definitely smear it. There we go. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to see what this looks like when I take it off. And let's do this color here. Let's do that in, how about a green? Or no, I'm gonna keep this in analogous colors. So let's go to, let's see what this color is. I do need a tiny bit of water in there, but you definitely don't want a puddle. You want it thick. And let's go in right here, trying to hold that stencil down. So that's actually a little bit lighter turquoise than the first one I used. There we go. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so pretty. I love stuff like this. And then maybe for that one, let's see what other blue we have left here. We could do our blue. I think this is a sky blue. The other one was a light sky blue. Oh yeah, that's pretty. Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I can't wait to lift this off and see what we've got here. I have to be kind of careful here because just make sure you hold down your stencil like I'm doing here. And again, play with that water ratio. You'll get it. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so pretty. What I think I wanna do is mix a couple of the colors together, kind of like I did there. So maybe add in a little bit of that. Oh, now that one seeped under. That's okay. There we go. And let's get this little corner here and this little corner. Oops, those are kind of hard because they're lifted up. Oh my gosh, you guys, are you ready? Here we go. So exciting. Okay, you got to be kind of careful lifting these up too. You could probably even dry it first and then lift. I really want to keep these down. Maybe let me try that and see how that works. So I'm just going to give it a shot here. Just a little bit. There we go. Just a tiny bit so that it's easier to lift off. And then you have to really make sure you do not move it on your paper. Look at that, you guys. Isn't that gorgeous? Now let's do our little spray mister. So I'm going to turn this sideways. Oh my gosh, I love this, you guys. Okay, so I don't know. I'm feeling like I'm kind of came onto something. I haven't seen anybody do this, but I'm sure somebody probably discovered this before me. Let's just give it a little fine mister spray. Oh my gosh. So pretty. Then once this dries, I'm going to go in with, I think, probably my mirror series. So let me give that a little misting. I don't want to use up all that water. So I'll use this just a tiny bit. You don't need much. And get those going. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. I love it. And then I think I'll do a green one here. Let me grab another stencil so I don't have to wash these before I use them again. This one has a few marks on it. I think it'll be okay. So I'm gonna put this, let's see, what direction do we wanna have this going? Oops, so sorry, I just hit my camera there. And you know what? I think I'm actually, because I just got some of that blue on here, I'm going to shoot that with my heat gun just a bit so it dries. There we go. And let's go on to our last one here. And then we can play with this with some of those metallics. I'm just going to wipe this off a bit. I've got some of that blue on there, but as you can see, it wipes right off. Not going to worry about this one so much because it's on the other side. And let's see. Oops, is that wet? No. Okay. Let's put this one like that. You could just do a little bit less too. I think I'll aim it that way. Okay. So I've got that on there. And now I'm going to go for some of these really pretty greens here that I've got. Those are so pretty. Let me grab my brush. And I don't want to have too much water on my brush, again, because you don't want it seeping through. Let's try, gosh, should I go with that bright emerald green? Let's see what that color is. Whew, that is pretty bright, you guys. Should we do it? All right, let's do this little one over here, just in case it's a little bright for my taste. Just a little sneak peek of it. Okay, and then I'm going to go on to the next one, and I think for that one I'll use that light tree green. Ooh, look how pretty. And just keep playing. Don't give up if it's smearing underneath, because you will get kind of the feel for how much paint you need. There we go. I'm going to mix that a bit. Maybe just put in a tad of that over here. There we go. I'm going to rinse my brush, and then for this one here, how about if we do, let's see what other green we've got here. Let's see what that green is. Ooh, that's pretty dark. Let's see what that one is. Let's go for our sap green. Hopefully I didn't get too much water here. I need to fill up my paints. There we go. Yeah, that's a pretty color. I could even add a tad of yellow in there if I wanted to lighten it up. Or maybe even, how about this? Let's add a tiny bit of blue. Let's see what that does. I think that could be really pretty. Yeah, look at that. Really pretty. Then we have one more over here, which I think I'll use the yellow. And maybe I should just tap in a little bit of yellow here. Now I see that's kind of, I can see it underneath the stencil. So I think this time I may have used a little too much water, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about that, because you know what? This is kind of an abstract. So, all right, let's lift this up. Ready? Whew. Yeah, look at that. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so fun. This is the kind of stuff I just get so excited about. I'm going to dry that just a tiny bit so that when I spray it, it doesn't quite go so crazy. So just dry it a little bit. Not completely. And then we'll give it a little spritz of water. Ooh, there we go. Oh my gosh. Look at these snowflakes. Let's try, let me see. I'm going to dry that just a bit before we keep going. There we go. So these are kind of like our primaries, our red, our blue, our yellows. And then of course we came up with those greens, which is, I know, a secondary color, but it's still kind of in this beautiful palette. What I'm going to do, let's cross our fingers this works, is let me grab another stencil. Let's see, where did I put, this set came with a ton of them. And they were, like I said, huge, which wasn't what I was necessarily expecting. That one's kind of pretty. They're all very similar, but let's just try this one. I want to make sure this is dry, and I think what I'll do is, let's put this one here. And I'm going to use a metallic. And let's see how well that works. I don't know how this is going to work, you guys, because I did not try this first. It's going to use an awful lot of my metallics, but let's see what it does. Let's try that one too. You can tell I have my favorites. I think I'll use this one over. This may turn out to be a total mess, but you see what we're doing here. We're kind of, ooh, I'm actually quite liking that. Oh, I hope you can see how beautiful this metallic is. You guys, I think we found a winner. I think this is the one. Just making sure you don't have too much water on your brush. That's where it can get a little wonky. And I'm trying to hold down this stencil as well, which is a little tricky. I think you can buy adhesives, but I've never done that. I've always just kind of held them in place. Ooh, I can't wait to see this one. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited. I can't stand it. Let's see here. Let me try that. And I'm just going to move over here. This is kind of a big one, so let me pick up more of that paint. Trying to hold down the stencil too, so it's nice and flat. But if my paint's thick enough, it should be okay. Kind of working one-handed here. Oh my gosh, you guys. I can hardly stand it. I can't wait to unveil this. I hope it turns out. Okay, I'm gonna move over here and we're just gonna keep going. I almost can't help myself from peeling this up and looking. Let's push that down. But I know that would ruin the whole thing, so I can't do that. Let's keep going here. Using quite a dry paint. Like I said, you'll get used to kind of how much paint you can use so it doesn't seep through. Got a couple more here. Ooh, these MABs are just really great for this. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to see this. Okay, we got a couple more here. We're getting there. Trying to hold that down. Let's just keep going. Couple more. I am just barely dipping my brush in the water. Now I think right there I probably got too much, so that's probably going to seep through. That's okay. This is abstract anyway, so oops, now look what I did. Oh my goodness. See, even I do these things, but you know what? Just embrace them. Do the best you can. The other thing is, I don't think, typically these metallics don't spread like regular watercolors. So I don't think I will spray it afterwards to kind of get that softness, because I don't think that's going to work with the metallics, which is fine. All right, we're getting there. Are you ready? Let's cross our fingers that this worked. Oh, I feel like it's just going to be beautiful. Get a little bit more there. Okay. You ready? Let me get my brush rinsed out. Here we go. Oh my gosh, you guys, how pretty is that? Now, I could do another one here, but look at that. Isn't that fun? What a fun card. There's a lot going on here, so I don't know if you would want to maybe put some lettering here that says, you know, merry and bright or something like that, but look how fun. I hope you guys give this a try. I had a lot of fun with this. I'm not even going to try and spray that one with any water. And, you know, just have fun. You could also do like a bokeh effect in the background, but I think this is just perfect and lovely. All right, everybody, have fun most of all. And, you know, during this holiday season when things can get a little hectic and crazy and stressful, just sit down and play. Sit down and throw some water on paper. No expectations, just have fun. Otherwise, why do it, right? All right. Happy painting, everybody, and most of all, have fun, and I will see you again soon.